Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show here on the Roku channel, obviously on the Roku platform. And this here portal called Roku is the streaming home of Formula E, the world's first all-electric FIA World Championship Motorsports Series, and the reigning champion who is getting set to defend his crown starting this very Saturday in Mexico City, Season 10 of Formula E. Jake Dennis is here on the Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, Jake. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I mean,
yes, round of applause here.
Thank you, guys.
This is what we call synergy.
Yeah.
You can't spell synergy without an E. Or Jake or Dennis or Eisen. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, you've nailed it. You got the E right.
I appreciate that. I got that part right. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. You are from
London, UK.
London. Okay.
City boy.
Well, I mean, you are a city boy. And how did you get into racing, Jake?
I sort of gave it a go when I was 8 years old. My dad used to race before I did. Nothing professional or anything like that. It was just a sort of dad and lad hobby on the weekends. And I actually originally hated it. I wasn't a fan of it at all. And he was still racing at the time, so I just enjoyed watching him race more than me go around. And then when I was 9, I gave it another go and enjoyed it a lot more. Still wasn't very good, obviously, at that age. You got to build up and learn a lot, but it just sort of progressed from there. And then it really turned serious when I was 12, when I got sponsored, where they fortunately paid for every part of motorsport for 10 years. You were a
sponsored 12-year-old driver?
Yeah, I was a very fortunate position, and especially my family, because obviously motorsport's expensive.
I have a 12-year-old. I couldn't imagine giving him the key to a car, ever.
I mean, I definitely wasn't driving a car at that point.
Okay.
It was still go-karts.
Okay, very good.
You know, those little go-karts, which you got to start off at. Moved into cars when I was 15.
Okay.
So, yeah, obviously I fully understood a race car and a road car by that point, but still couldn't drive on the road legally.
Well, I have a 15-year-old. I couldn't imagine giving him the keys to a car. But, okay.
But we survived. And
we did, obviously. And now you're a championship racer and driver. So how did you get into the world of Formula E? How did that happen?
Yeah, I've been in Formula E for 3 years now, so still relatively new to it compared to some other guys. You know, they've been there from day one, so they're coming up to their 10th year. But yeah, it was just sort of right place, right time as well, with a bit of talent behind me. I used to actually race sports cars, which is basically like a road car, turned into a full race car. So you got big rear wings, slick tires, roll cage. I did that for like 5 years, racing for Audi and Aston Martin. And then an opportunity came up in Formula E with BMW, where I got told, I got a bit of an insight that one of the drivers was leaving, and I had one contact there. And he gave me a simulator sort of shot where it's like a virtual world of racing, and you sort of try and prove yourself there. Did quite a good job with that. And then I got one test, which was up against their sort of number one driver, and did a pretty good job as well. And then they gave me the seat like 3 weeks before the first race.
3 weeks?
Yeah, it was really short notice. And got the seat, and then it was like straight into the season. And I mean, it was a rocky start. It wasn't easy by any stretch, but we had a great end to the season and almost won the championship in our rookie year. But it was, good contacts, like anything, you need the right place, right time, and go from there.
Jake Dennis, who is the reigning champion of Formula E racing, which will be now streamed right here on the Roku portal, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Excited to have you here. So, if you don't mind, since this is potentially a new audience for you and for the sport and for the series, would you mind giving us a little primer on all of this? So how fast do these cars go?
So these cars now are pretty fast. We've just had a new car come out in 2023, and we can reach up to the top speeds of like 190 miles per hour if the straight allows it. But one of the cool things about Formula E is we actually normally race fully in the city and like the city centre. So you actually race mainly on street circuits. So you don't really ever reach these top speeds because no street really ever has that long of a straight. So it's really tight, twisty circuits, great for the fans to be able to get up close. And yeah, you just really race all around the world. Obviously, it's a fully electric racing series, which is obviously the biggest promotion of sustainability. One of the other big differences to, say, Formula One is we have one spec of tyre. So whether it's wet or dry, we keep the same tyres on, just again, trying to help promote sustainability. We're not having massive amounts of heavy weight of crate. We're flying all these cars around the world. It can be quite expensive. So trying to keep the capacity down as much as we possibly can, and really promote, you know, what we're trying to achieve and help the environment, while obviously doing something cool.
Emissions free racing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Net zero. So it's obviously trying to promote that as much as possible. And I think what we do is create an amazing show. You know, in Formula One, a lot of the fans or a lot of the, you know, producers get excited when there's probably 70 overtakes in a race, which can be up to, like, say, 2 hours long.
Yes.
In Formula E, the race is 45 minutes, and we've had the likes of raced in Portland last season, and we had 630 overtakes in one race.
630 overtakes.
So it's pretty mental. Yeah, and
mental.
Yeah, we've got 2 races there coming up later this year as well. So last year was just a single header, just on Saturday. This year it's 2, so we're probably looking at over 1,200 overtakes in an hour and a half.
So now, with it being a 45-minute race, there's no pit.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, because if you're not changing tires, right? Yeah. And I imagine you're fully charged, right? And the charge can last an entire race.
Yeah.
Or?
So it is quite complicated, and we're going to start this season with no pit stops, and that's what we've always done. But halfway through the season,
yes,
we're going to go to fast charging pit stops, which basically means you come in halfway through the race, you charge the car for 30 seconds, and then it unlocks obviously extra energy, and then you go back out, and then you've got more energy to spend. So it's a big thing for Formula E. You know, it's a big thing for the manufacturers like Porsche, Jaguar. You know, they're all trying to promote and obviously make these road cars as better for the average, you know, personnel which want to make their road cars as fast as possible. You know, the thing that's stopping us moving really to electric cars at the moment is, you know, the big lines that say trying to charge your car. You know, no one really wants to wait 30 minutes at the moment. So I think trying to promote fast charging where you can do it in 30 seconds in a Formula E car.
How much can you charge a car in 30 seconds?
It says a percentage. I'm not actually too sure, but it's 7% roughly, I would say.
Okay.
And you know, it's pretty quick, and that allows us drivers obviously just drive faster as well. So it's a pretty cool aspect. It's definitely going to unlock more excitement, more drama in the racing as well. You know, you've got pit stops, you've got safety cars coming out at that type of time. So it definitely makes it harder for the strategy guys. But for me, you know, we're just trying to survive in the madness and sort of get through the race. But yeah, pit stops later this year will be super exciting.
Well, I mean, I have been asked before, if you don't mind me making this about me, there is an E in me, Jake, that I have been asked before in my career, hey, would you like to be part of a pit crew? And I've said, no way, because I'm not going to change a tire and have that blow out or anything like that, or have it fall off the car. Or, you know, with fuel, I mean, that stuff can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking, Jake, I could plug in a car. I mean, like, you know, like if it's just, you know, plugging something in and then taking
I'll just try not to run you over.
Well, no, but that would be an on me thing. That would be a me thing if I stay out of the way.
If I aim for you, though.
Okay, well, hopefully, you know, now that we've met, you wouldn't. But I mean, I think I could take the charger and
I think you
plug
could.
it in.
I mean, yeah, it's really not that complicated.
I'm just sitting here thinking.
Yeah,
maybe I can give you 7%. I do that every day here on the show.
If you're free for the Portland race, I'll get my team to give you a shot.
That's the one that's domestic in the United States here?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So not too far of a flight for you.
I can get to Oregon and plug in the Jake Dennis. It's just one time, right? One time in the race.
Yeah, one time. And if I don't win, I'm blaming you, even if you did everything correctly.
Again, I'm used to that at home every single day.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, that's awesome. So it's a Mexico City, then Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool. Probably the driver's favorite circuit. We race basically at night. So it's floodlit, but also you can obviously see where you're going, but just racing at night in the sort of desert. The circuit is absolutely incredible. You know, you have so many like mountain sections up and down. It's a bit of like a roller coaster. So
wow,
and it's super dusty offline. So if you
it makes sense there.
Yeah, so it makes it quite difficult online only, but super rewarding if you get it right.
I gotta be honest. I'm not to go geopolitical here with you, Jake, but I would think if there's one place that would get upset that you're not using gas, it would be Saudi Arabia.
Oil, yeah, I agree with that. They're quite well.
Come on and get off the grid. I mean, that doesn't sound all right. And then you're going to Hyderabad, India.
That's unfortunately just been cancelled.
Okay, sorry.
But
Then Brazil,
Japan,
Tokyo. That must be. You don't do that at night, do you?
No, I think every driver really wanted it to happen. I actually don't think it's confirmed if it's day or night, but I think it will be day. But nevertheless, I think racing in Tokyo will be absolutely incredible.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's definitely the highlight of the calendar. I think last year we raced in Cape Town, which was probably everyone's favorite. This year probably will be Tokyo. And then we're going back to Shanghai. That's a really cool location. Racing in my hometown in London for the end of the season.
Where in London? How in the world can they clear traffic in London? I mean, this may be the only way to clear traffic in London.
So what they do really well for London is we actually race half indoor, half outdoor.
Okay.
So we race in the building called the XL Arena, which is absolutely massive. And we have half the circuit inside, half circuit outside. And obviously block most of the traffic for sure, obviously to create this circuit.
Let's be very happy about that.
Yeah. It's super cool track though.
It must be.
Yeah. Last year it actually rained for the race and you had obviously half of it dry, half of it wet. So it was very challenging for the drivers, you could say.
I bet. Where would you want to race?
Where would I like to race? I think Australia. Australia for me would be a super cool location. Sydney's somewhere where I've raced before in the previous championship I used to do. And it's one of my favorite cities. So definitely there. And then hopefully we can maybe have a race in LA. That would be super exciting. Okay. It's my first time here in LA, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Well, then I'm your charger here.
Yeah.
All right. You understand that?
In, yeah.
Yes. I'm making myself available for that. Have you ever seen Talladega Nights?
Oh, who hasn't? Absolute awesome film.
Do you have the same mantra?
Well, the shake and bake.
Well, no. If you're not first, you're last.
That is very true. I could say I would have that motto. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. So, Jake, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations on your win last year and your success in Formula E, and look forward to seeing you right here on Roku all the time.
I'll look forward to seeing you in Portland.
I will be there. I will be there. Jake Dennis at Jake Dennis 19 on all social circuits. Roku, again, is the streaming home of Formula E, and you could check it out this coming Saturday, season 10 kicking off in Mexico City. And of course, your goal is to repeat. Good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.